The delivery driver had a peculiar habit: he stole 2 beef legs from every shipment. He kept at it for 5 years, and the petty thefts eventually made him a millionaire. Before each trip, he would slip the official seal into his sleeve, sell the meat on the road, and then reseal the truck as if nothing had happened. When he reached the warehouse, he would tip the loaders and the manager to keep them quiet. Everyone benefited except the boss. The scheme unraveled when Frank, desperate for extra money after the birth of his second child, made the mistake of driving an empty truck to the destination. His employer immediately took him to court. As a member of the truckers' union, Frank sought help from the union's lawyer. The lawyer told him he could avoid punishment if he exposed his accomplices. But no matter how hard the lawyer pressed, Frank refused to betray anyone. Impressed by his loyalty, the lawyer fought what seemed a hopeless case and won. That victory changed Frank's life. The lawyer introduced him to a man named Robert. Outwardly, Robert was just a store owner. In reality, he had deep ties with both politicians and the mob. He admired Frank's composure and loyalty and gradually drew him into the underworld. From a driver who once stole meat, Frank transformed into a contract killer. On one occasion, he was ordered to bomb a laundromat. Just before he acted, Robert stopped him. It turned out the laundromat belonged to a friend. Without the warning, Frank might have walked straight into a death trap. Instead, he eliminated the man who set him up, earning real credit within the mob. As his status grew, Robert introduced him to a far more powerful figure, Jimmy, president of the truckers' union. Jimmy controlled billions in pension funds and was one of the most influential men in America. Even the mafia relied on his money. To become Jimmy's confidant was an honor Frank could hardly believe. The two quickly became inseparable. In public, Jimmy was a hero to the working class. To Frank's daughter, he was a kind uncle. But when John F. Kennedy was elected president, Jimmy came under federal investigation for his political stance. He became volatile, lashing out at everyone except Frank. Their bond had long since gone beyond that of boss and subordinate. To steady Jimmy's position, Frank turned to Robert for help, only to be told that the tide of history could not be stopped. Jimmy had to fend for himself. Determined to keep control, Jimmy placed his own men inside the union and even promoted an incompetent vice president as a figurehead. But that man quickly fell under mob control. Years later, when Jimmy was released from prison, he vowed to reclaim the union and cut off the mob's financial lifeline. That decision enraged his underworld rivals. Robert repeatedly urged Frank to talk Jimmy out of it, to persuade him to retire in peace. But Jimmy refused. He had devoted his life to the union and would never walk away. The conflict escalated, mobsters blew up Jimmy's yacht, and Jimmy retaliated by torching their cars. Frank was caught in the middle, torn between two worlds. He never forgot that his rise owed everything to Robert. No matter how close he was to Jimmy, he knew only Robert had the power to protect his family. Then came the day Frank dreaded. Robert told him face to face, Jimmy had to go. The ultimatum shattered him. Frank was forced to confront the cruelest choice of his life: betray a brother or defy the organization.